Hi guys, welcome back to Yildiz Readings 5D. For those of you that don't know, I am a psychic medium. I cover your astrology by zodiac sign, twin flame path, live every Friday, so please click the bell. If you do need a booking, you can go to the box directly below and it has all the information that is relevant. And if you want the content ahead of time, as well as a private twin flame coaching room, the pre-release content and the extension videos, they're all on the main page, and information again is below. Without further ado, let's have a look at your zodiac sign and what can be coming up for it. Otherwise, I will see you during the week for all the lives here at Yildiz Readings 5D. Take care, guys. Welcome back, Virgo. We're here to do your psychic reading. For those of you who are new, a very warm welcome, and return bees, welcome back, guys. Now, I have pulled the cards and I've sat with the energy, and oh, Virgo, you're taking the bull by the horns. Now, I feel you guys are in the midst of making some really major decisions, and it does feel, it is because something's not feeling completely authentic to you any longer. I do feel you've had what we deem in the spiritual community as a little bit of the dark night of the soul, but it's a revelation, it's an awakening, it's a viewpoint, and you feel you have some choices to make. So this can be, yellow chakra can be to do with creative projects. It also can be to do with children, what you're doing, your purpose, your energy, your co-creative energy, and how you feel to do with things. I do feel these choices, it's like, it's really shouting at you very loud and clear. You're not taking steps, however, right away, right? You're feeling somehow you can't speak your truth. You can't be honest about the situation, or that it may in some shape or form affect people. But it's intuitive in nature. It's like, right, you're thinking, you're ready, you're acting. You also feel you don't have to explain yourself to people. So regardless of what your truth is, you may be wondering what another person's truth is. So that may be a blockage, which we'll tune into it in a moment, into how it can be playing out for you individually. These choices, I do feel it's almost coming through quite urgent. It's like, look, you're really wanting to get your life on track. But some of these hopes and dreams that you had, you may be having them in question, and it potentially can be because we're going to have the eclipse in Sagittarius. You're coming through unsure. It's like, okay, do I sign this contract? Do I do this? Do I commit to this hope and dream? You also may feel that you don't want to tie yourself down to a circumstance that maybe has been a little bit testing at the moment. But there is this fear of, am I making the right choice? But I do feel you're making a choice, nevertheless. You got Spirit of Water. It's in reverse. Now, I'm getting it's poker face energy. I think you're looking at the practicality. It's not just the emotional energy. I feel you've come to terms with the emotional energy. It's more, what is the practicality? Is it feasible? Am I looking at this correctly? But I do feel you're holding this. You're trying to hold this together. You're trying to not come across as over emotional with it. You're trying to be very adult, professional, and practical. Now, I do think some of it is to do with values. Now, this can be your spiritual values, other people's values, and how you see things going forward. And I do feel that that might have been a really sticking point for you. I do feel that you do have a lot of hopes and dreams. I feel as though you feel you put things on hold, and you want to break that glass ceiling. You want to make these things happen. There might be a real sticking point when it does come to finance at the moment. And the beautiful thing is, post-eclipse, we can have some really great benefits coming through. So if you're dealing with anything work-related and you do want to look at your astrology, feel free to come through and I can give you a reading based on that. Again, I do feel some of you, if you've been working really hard at something, you're really weighing the pros and cons. This is a point where you feel, are people seeing the value in me? Am I seeing the value in myself? Your day-to-day routine can be extremely busy at the moment, but you may feel it's all on you. A lot of emotions relating to family, again, with choices and, speaking, not speaking, again, can be coming up. Like, how do I view this? How, you know, what direction do I go in? But it's about you. For some of you can be digging into inner child wounds and realizing the power that we have within ourselves. But I feel very separately. You can feel very detached from certain things. Some of you also may be dealing with an area in life where you're looking at your area of employment and wondering whether you can balance everything out. I do feel if you're working from home, there can be a lot of changes that you've had to actually undertake, and it may be that there are things being shifted about, and your daily routine at home may be more, things may be calling upon you a little bit more than usual. I do feel some of you, you know, if you were gearing up ready to, you're wondering if that's a good idea. And when I say gearing up ready to purchase a home, do something of a home nature, I feel you could be second guessing it, really going back to the table, looking at the map and saying, okay, how is home? How is life? Are things in order? But I don't think it's one subject. I think you do have a lot on your plate at the moment where you're having to, and I talk about this Mercury retrograde really being almost like we're juggling and we're a clown. So it feels as though it's all brewing to the surface and some major decisions are going to need to be made. But you're yearning for this to happen. You know, you're willing to put the work in, but it's something in your soul that's calling that, saying this just isn't sitting right with you at this point. I do feel some of you are feeling you need to leave something to get something. This can be this feeling of, I'll give you an example, needing to work away. How will that affect a connection? Needing to leave individuals behind or coming to terms with them. What does that mean? Is this going to keep happening? There is psychology coming through in your read, but it's also very, what would the word be? You're weighing up your pros and cons. You're in the choices energy. You're weighing up the pros and cons. I feel when it does come to relationships, you know, you feel that there's two ways this can go. So you're being pretty careful. You're like, okay, again, Virgo in nature, looking at the detail, devil in the detail. This can be a balance between work and love, work and home, needing to be there for people, places and things. You know, you'll maybe even a bit cross at yourself for maybe choices that you made in the past. But I feel overall, if you feel you're doing something for somebody and they are not appreciating you, this is where an ultimatum can really be coming through from. But I feel it's more to do with you getting cross at the fact that you do have too much on your plate. And if people are going to place expectations, I feel you'd be very disconnected from it, and you can be protecting yourself. It's like, no, don't want to deal with that. There is somebody in the mix, and I'm going to pull a clarifier on this. This can be, again, mother energy, family energy, that you feel, you know, you could have an opinion about. There may be a family member that is doing something that you don't agree with at this point. And especially values. A lot of values are coming up. So, you know, it's one of those months that can be pretty testing on the nerves. But I do feel that overall very separate to all of that of what I'm seeing coming through with your read. You're about to make major decisions. Now, not only are these things playing out, but I do have this sense that something in you is ready to subside away. And what do I mean by that? Initially, I feel there's going to be a little bit of resistance, but then I feel as though you will transform through it. So it's going to serve a purpose, and you'll actually have an epiphany to do with what your truth is. And I think your truth is maybe holding you back to a degree. We're going to pull a clarifier. There you go. Your viewpoint, you know, where there's control, where there's not, what people's roles are. You're trying to work out where you stand in the mix of it. So you do, you know, this is where we do have our power, our circle of concern, our control. I do feel some of you are going to hear from someone who did leave you out in the cold. You could be having emotions to do with that. Some of you also can be looking at, why are they showing me that? Okay, I'm being shown that if and this could be for a single person who's jumping in the house, but they're, it's showing me that a person that had a miscarriage, there's a child energy coming through. Again, regrets of the past, co-creative energy, our choices in life, the things that happen. I do feel this child energy is around you. I feel you guys are knowing that you have a choice to make, but you're not, how do I put it? It's like, you just wish it didn't get to that. That's what I'll say. Yeah. It's like you're trying to see the good in everything. How did you get stuck in this scenario in the first place? And it's kind of like the innocence. You're going into the innocence. You're having this rebirth. And it's feeling awkward. I do feel, again, I just keep hearing you wanting everyone to get along. But there is a reason why it's not meant to be like that right away. And that can be for the group energy. I'm hearing group. To heal. To heal. Okay, there's two people surrounding you at the moment. There's a double energy. I don't know why this keeps coming through. It's been coming through for a couple of the reads, but I do feel there's two ways this can go in your mind, especially with the choices card. There's two ways this can go, and you may have two paths in mind. You may have two ways. One way you feel, if you continue things the way they are, or the way it used to be, there's a lot of sacrifices involved, and that's where the crazy thing is, you don't look at that as attractive. So it sort of feels as though you're given no choice. Do you know what I mean? From that point of view, you're like, it's like a do I stay, do I go scenario. Do I keep dealing with it in the same way? How can this transform? What would I have to do to transform? And some of that is out of your control. But I do feel there's something on your side of the fence that you're really feeling your powers taken from you. And now universe is giving you an opportunity to, have that rebirth in it, to have the transformation of such. But I do feel people are actually quite needing on you. And, it's like you're needing people as well, but you're not letting them know. That's how it's coming through. Okay, there is a person who's meant to be in your life. This person may have caused a lot of angst, and there may have been a lot of jealousy in the connection. This jealousy is going to be addressed, but it's, there could be a little bit, how would I put it? There could be a bit of a fight or a conversation to do with differing views, differing values, different needs and expectations. You kind of know it's brewing, so you're waiting for it. Now, if you're... 3 cards for your love interest. They want me to pull them. Some of these videos have been getting longer and longer. I'm seeing a social event. We have the 9 of Cups. Something to do with a social event. This, I feel, is past tense energy. It's on your mind. It's also to do with some of you, it's a reconciliation. It's what that would look like, how that would go. I do feel a birthday month surrounding it. I do feel there's regrets relating to the past, and this person is wanting to communicate. Potentially they may have been social butterflies, or there was a social event where things went sour. I feel you're tired of your happiness being taken from you, Virgo, and it's like you're not motivated. You're feeling, you're trying to focus on your work and your own things, and you've kind of realized in yourself that you're trying to get this balance back. You're trying to get this balance back in life so you don't lose that sense of identity. And I feel at the moment, your destiny's calling you. You're being quite cool and collected at the moment. You're holding your tongue, but that could come to a head if something has frustrated you. And it's really better to, and the warning is during Mercury retrograde, you do have the Mercury energy in reverse here, is that especially with this outcome card of conflict, A, it can be that you guys are going to communicate and dig to the bottom. B, it can be that if this truth isn't spoken, there can be conflict. Stay tuned for the snippet and we can see how this extension read is going to play out. Is jealousy bringing out the green-eyed monster in this connection? Is this coming back to be resolved? For those of you in the connection, it's addressing the elephant in the room. On a work-related dynamic, I am seeing some of you having a 360. Come join us. Thanks for joining us here at Yildiz Readings 5D. If you do vibe the tribe, please come along and subscribe. If you do want the content and the extension read or a booking, all the information is directly below. If you have any issues, feel free to message me via YouTube and I can give you a hand. The pre-release content, both for the Twin Flame Coaching Room, the pre-released and the extension reads, like I mentioned, are in the Members Hub, and I am live here every Friday. So if you do have a super chat question, you can come along and join us. Otherwise, stay tuned for next week's updates. I love to read all your feedback and comments, so please do remember to comment if you feel this video is relevant. See you during the week, guys. Take care.